Here we go. Yeah, I know a lot of artists are paranoid. Is that?
Yeah, I think that's foolish. You know, it's all comes from up there.
Exactly.
It happens, and there's always a reason for it, or if there's not a reason, it happens anyway. I've always been a great fatalist, but especially now when I do all this meditation. And you too, I know you do.
I do.
We should meditate together.
I love that.
Yes, we really should.
I would love that. I'm serious.
That's, you know, I have the 3 rules, which is eat well, impeccably well, not only well. Do your exercises 4 or 5 times a week, but a lot of exercises for a long period of time.
What did you do today?
Today?
What did you eat today?
Okay. In the morning, it's been 7 months now because ReW knows that I had a stroke. It was not an ischemic stroke. An ischemic stroke is when you have a blockage. I'm much too healthy doing yoga for 49 years for that. I stood on my head for 47 years. It took me 2 years to learn to stand on my head. And one day, my brain popped after 47 years. But that wouldn't happen to everybody. It happened because apparently, I mean, you don't know what your brain looks like. You don't know what your brain looks like. But the MRI showed that I have a deep formation, a vein apparently that not everybody has. A small percentage of
it. It must be the magic.
It must be that was the real magic. And that's why it popped. So since then, my breakfast is vegetable juice, carrot, celery, beet.
Do you make it in a juicer?
I make it in a juicer every single morning for 7 months. I did skip 3 mornings when I was going to an early exercise class. I just can't exercise only on juice. You've got to have a little protein. In fact, Gary No.
Yes,
Gary No
I
is
love Gary
one of the gurus of health. He said you should always put protein powder in your juices. However, since I was cleansing, I wanted to get rid of this thing, and I'm doing incredibly well, as you can see.
Yeah.
He said put protein. So I cheated maybe 3 times, but normally I go to the...
What's cheating? Come on.
Cheating means instead of the juice, I have oatmeal with beans.
Hush.
Now, that's another principle that is not all that well known sometimes. When you eat grain, like oatmeal, when you eat beans, it must be counteracted with some grain.
Right.
Now,
like rice and beans.
Like rice and beans. However, there are percentages, and some of especially the Mexicans, get bigger and bigger and bigger. Why? They have this much rice and this much beans. So I worked it out over the years, and I find that 1/3 grain to
2/3 protein.
2/3 beans, which is the protein.
Okay. Are you a vegetarian?
I have no desire to have anything but you know, since
do you eat fish?
Well, I wasn't, but I'm trying to eat fish. I do it once or twice a month.
Yeah.
I don't want fish. You do?
Yeah,
you don't feel like having it?
I don't, but occasionally I'll have it.
I don't have it because I want it, but because they say
feel I need it.
Fish is brain food.
Do you take? I know. I want to get my whole life in knowledge from VeLMa. Do you take the fish oils or anything like that?
I do take.
What do you take on a daily regime? I'm just curious.
I take 150 supplements
a day. Do you take them like spread out throughout the day?
3 times a day.
How much does this cost you?
A lot.
Yeah. Do you get them from certain vitamin stores? Like, are all of them okay, or are some better than others?
Now I've become a little bit more discriminating. Since this happened with my brain, I won't have anything with magnesium stearate. And magnesium stearate holds the powder, it keeps the powder from sticking in the capsules. So most of the supplements
have magnesium sulfate.
Magnesium stearate. Most of them do. Yeah, and that's what I mentioned last time.
Right, I remember. I'll have to hear it probably a few more times, and then I'll know.
Especially now, I say to people, well, you know, I have an excuse now not to remember.
So that's something you stay far away from.
Well, I'm finishing the ones I have that have magnesium stearate. But in fact, I had a question I have to call about it. I saw a supplement I want with calcium stearate. I think the bad guys are the stearate.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
I just heard something about calcium yesterday on the radio.
What did you hear?
I didn't hear the whole thing, but I heard that are all these calcium pills that all these women are taking going to be like something bad? Like,
Well,
it was a bad rap for calcium.
Well, that came out not too long ago. There's a product that...
And I was like, phew, thank God I don't take them.
Oh, you don't take the calcium?
I don't take anything regularly.
Well, good for you. I think you're smart. And
I hate vitamins.
I loved them.
I hate them. I used to take handfuls of...
Yeah.
I hate vitamins. I hate pills. I'd rather have it in liquid.
Well, yes, but the liquid contains potassium sorbate. It's a preservative. You don't want
So when you take your fish oils, how do you take them?
How?
On the rocks?
No, they're in soft gels. Soft gels are okay.
Oh.
And sometimes I bite them and bite the oil out. And
you know who I heard used to do that with her pills?
Who?
Marilyn Monroe. She used to,
really?
Yeah, she used to chew on them because supposedly it worked better.
It probably does because your stomach doesn't have to
I
work
learned
out.
from her. You prick it with
That's
a safety pin.
Oh, and squeeze it out. I do it with my teeth.
I love you, Marilyn. Exactly.
That's why you look so gorgeous. You're using all the methods of Marilyn.
I'm sure she wasn't doing it with her fish oils, though.
I know. It's getting warm, you know. It's
so, VeLMa, what is the glass for today?
Okay, you have to hold my mic, as you always do.
Look at this lovely, amazing.
Yeah, I want to show you my razzle-dazzle beads.
They're gorgeous.
They remind me of
I
a
love
spine.
those colors.
Aren't they pretty? Matches my dress. You know, when I was a kid, I drove my mother crazy. If I had a pink dress, I wouldn't go out unless I had pink socks.
Oh.
And now, also, I'm always color coordinated. And people remark on it. I say, well, it goes back 78 years on the 26th of this month.
That's your birthday, October 26th?
In 2 weeks from today.
Wow.
Yeah, if you look booked, I'll come back.
You can visit on your birthday. Alan Merrill, that's the day he's hosting. He would love to meet you.
I will visit.
Oh, we're going to have you come on your birthday. Oh, what an honor.
That's going to be
So wait, you won't eat cake. What will you eat? What can we put a candle in for you to blow and make a wish?
Well, what do I
a mango?
Carrot cake?
Oh, no,
she won't eat any cake.
No, I really won't.
Will you eat pudding?
Why don't I bring something with the candle?
Because you don't trust.
Yeah.
Do you trust anybody's food?
No, I don't. I don't like to eat other people's food.
Yeah,
really.
I
carry my own food around.
I believe. Did you eat in restaurants?
I try not to. And the last time I went to a restaurant,
I'll tell you something. I understand.
Okay, so you and I were made for each other. Here we go again. I'm ready to marry you as I was last time.
I know. And we're allowed to now in this day and age.
That's what you said.
In New York City, women can marry women. I understand, exactly.
Because it's
I have to get out of something first.
Hard to find. And your children are the ages of my grandchildren.
And my one daughter next Monday is 21.
And my granddaughter on my birthday, that's a sweet, sweet story, I'll tell you, will be 22.
Wow, on October 26th as well.
October 26th.
How
and my
nice is
sweet daughter-in-law, I was so lucky to be blessed with a nice daughter-in-law. I had a wonderful mother-in-law, and now I have a wonderful daughter-in-law. When October 26th was coming, and my daughter-in-law had a belly like this, she said 1 or 2 weeks before, I wanted to be born on your birthday, I wanted to be born on your birthday. And she wished it so long. They were in California, I was in New York, and that day came, the 26th. It was morning, it was afternoon, it was 5 o'clock at night. No Sarah. And finally, she pushed her out at 11:30 at night to make my birthday. It was already 2:30 in the morning.
It was written.
In New York. That was, she wished it. She's done such well, and she has made Sarah what Sarah is, and Sarah will be very, very successful. She's an excellent, excellent child. Despite some things that she had to get over, but she's gotten over them and she's pushing ahead. So this reminds me of the spine.
Okay, show us.
It's long, it's straight,
yes,
and it's flexible. Very flexible. The yogis say you're as young as your spine is flexible. So really, you can cut yourself in for a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful life by following the 3 rules of success. And it's not reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Thank God.
I used to love it. I loved it.
I did too.
Yeah, we love it.
I did.
It is eating impeccably well, number 1. do your exercises 4, 5, 6 times a week. And meditation that we're going to do together.
I want to.
We are going to do it.
All right,
together.
it's my birthday present for me.
For you. When is your birthday?
Mine's in June.
In June. I figured you were a summer baby. Summer babies are outgoing. Winter babies are subdued. So, put them all together.
Wow!
What do you got? A great life, happiness, good health.
Isn't magic just the coolest thing in the world?
It's magic.
I love magic. It's so good. It's so.
Thank you so much.
Wow. So what else is going on, VeLMa?
Well, a lot of things. I can't stand on my head. I had already invited everybody in the world. I was going to rent out Times Square for my 100th birthday, and I promised I was going to stand on my head. So I'm back to yoga, but I will never stand on my head.
So what can we make happen for your 100th birthday this time?
Well,
what would you do in Times Square?
We'll do a
Will
little
you fly
yoga
on your magic carpet?
Oh, yeah. I still have the magic carpet. You know, I've sold most of my magic equipment or given it to a few magicians, but the magic carpet, I wanted to put it in a museum. We did have a
I know a museum for you. We have a contact with the Museum of Motherhood.
Oh.
And it's a brand new museum that just opened.
And I'm a grandmother.
And, yeah. And it's on 84th Street and First Avenue. It's MOM, I believe, .org. And it's a perfect segue. Our next guest is performing there. She's come. I met her at the gala at the Museum of Motherhood event. And do you have any flyers for it? I do. I usually do, and I gave them all yesterday.
Do give me one, and I'll contact them for my magic
We would
carpet.
love to put your magic carpet in the Museum of Motherhood.
With the photos of
yes.
Oh,
we got the contact for you.
You've got it
totally. Oh, and it's such a great museum. It's amazing.
There were several thank you so much. There were several magic museums, but they've all dissipated.
Well, this is a brand new museum. Just opened September.
What happens, unfortunately, is the people who are rah-rah-rah in anything, museums or anything else, they get older, they move to Florida, they go to Arizona, they die. I had a French group, in fact, because I was a student in France, but not for that long, so I didn't learn a lot of French. And many years later, I found a French group in New York, a language group, where you had, to begin with, we had, 50 people. You had the Russian table, the French table, the Spanish table, the Chinese table. It was amazing. It was run by Barry Farber.
I know Barry Farber. I know Bibi, his daughter.
Oh, right. Is Barry still around?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I actually worked for him for like 5 minutes.
For 5 minutes.
I was in broadcasting school, believe it or not. I went to the Center for Media Arts, and it was like editing tape, and I had to edit. He had a radio show, and I was one of the people that learned 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah. And then Bibi, I met years later. She's an amazing musician. And I met her totally separate. And
I didn't know how many
Barry Farber, I know
he started the language club. He supposedly spoke 23 languages or 22. He didn't speak them fluently, but that was still very amazing.
That's amazing.
Yes, all of these languages. So he started that club, and I found it, and the French group was always the largest. And then the others just dissipated, and Barry also got older and moved, or wherever he is. And but the French group continued, and I was with them. The first 10 years I missed because I didn't know they existed, and then I was with them at least 15 years, but we had the same experience. The people were all 5, 10, 20 years older than I. Many of them had come from Europe, from France and Belgium, right after World War II, 1945. So you figure it out. And about 5 years ago, it was dissipating. A lot of them went back to France or Belgium. But nevertheless, that's the way of the world. So the museums is the same thing pretty much, they dissipate.
Well, we're going to get your thing in the Museum of Motherhood. It's an amazing place. It's the Museum of Motherhood. There it is, right there. And we'll see you on your birthday.
I will be here definitely.
Excellent.
And maybe we can meditate before then.
Oh, let's do it. Let's do it before then. It's a deal. Seal the deal.
Love you.
I love you more, my
Thank you
future
so
wife
much.
in my next life. Yes, we'll be back on ReW WhO, October 12th.
And who